So for questions 1 to 9, we're going to use this equation here without even graphing. Is this function increasing or decreasing? I know it's decreasing, so if you circle that, by how much? We know that 3/4 is 0.75, right? So we're going to go 1 minus 0.75 to say that it's 0.25 or 25%, whichever one you prefer. It's going down by 25% every, whatever term we're talking about. State the y-intercept. The y-intercept is simply taken from the equation, right? Whether you use your calculator or not, I was hoping that you were going to start using it less. State the x-intercept. None, right? None. Never crosses the x-axis. There's an asymptote there. State the range of the above function in both ways. So we know that this is decreasing, so it's doing this. So the range is 0, so it would be y is greater than 0. That's the set notation. Or you can say 0 to infinity. Okay? Either one of those will do the trick. If you did one of those and you got that one right, you're good. Okay? I'll give you the marks for that. What's the half-life of the above function? You got to use your calculator for this one. Okay? So we will essentially let y2 equal to half of what we started with, right? Which is 25. So it's 50 divided by 2, which is 25. And then we find that intersection. I already graphed it. I'm going to go y2 is equal to 25, and it's at that intersection where my half-life is. So it's 2.41. Okay, so 2.41 is the answer. So I'm going to go that, second, trace, intersect, and that is 2.41 units. We don't know what they are. Could be seconds, days, years, centuries. Okay. So that's how you do your half-life. State the equation of the horizontal asymptote. A horizontal line is always y equals something, so it'll be y equals 0. State the quadrant activity for the above function. It always goes from quadrant 2 to quadrant 1. What other type of function has the same quadrant activity? I was thinking a quadratic with a positive leading coefficient. Okay, a quadratic with a positive leading coefficient. That could be 1. So it would go like this, right? So whether, doesn't matter which quadrant you're in, it's going to go from 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 eventually. Any other ones? I think that's it. You have one? That's it? A linear. Linear would not work because unless it's a constant you're referring to. A constant function would go like y equals to 2, for example, would go from here to here. But a linear would either go from 2 to 4 or from 3 to 1, no matter what you do. Constant is right. Constant with a positive y value, right? Change the equation so that the function decreases by 1.5%. So I'm going to go 1 minus 0.015, and that is 0.985. So now that equation will be f of x is equal to 50, and then you go 0.985 in there to the x. All or nothing on this one, okay? All or nothing. That's how you do it. So 9 marks so far. Give yourselves a mark out of 9 for the first 9 questions. And let's transition over to this one, where we have a word problem associated with it. Explain what the A represents in this context. Because we're talking investment, it's the initial amount invested. Initial amount invested, something like that. You can put it in dollars, right? That's how much you put in. Explain what B represents in this scenario. The investment increases by, how much are we going up by? 2.5%, right? Per year. Yeah. You go 1 minus that, and then you go times 100 to get to 2.5% per year. Okay. State the domain in set notation. Any format I will accept here. In this case, domain is your time, right? So if you think of it, this is time, this is money. So we start at 5,000 and this keeps going up like that. So for domain, it's 0 to infinity in interval notation, or we go x is the variable for the equation. X is greater than or equal to 0. That's another way of putting it. State the range. In interval notation, the range goes from 5,000, right? The lowest y value is 5,000, and it goes to infinity like that, or y is greater than or equal to 5,000. Either one will work. State the doubling time. Because it's an increasing function, we have a doubling time here, so we let y2 equal to 2 times 5,000, right? Double of what we started with. So that's 10,000. And then we go second, trace, intersect. I did not type this in yet, but I will do that for you guys because some of you may not have been able to get this. Okay, so to the x. And I'm going to have to change my window significantly. I know that already because, right, 5,000. So I'm going to go Y max, I'm going to go to $25,000 or something like that. Y min is just -5. Let's try that. So it looks like a straight line. Increase your X max a little bit. I'm going to go 150. There we go. So I let Y2 equal to 10,000. You can actually see it quite nicely here. You start with 5,000. Doubling time means you would have double of what you started with. And that's the point that will give us that answer. And so that's 28.07 years. Okay, so our money, your money at this interest rate will double every 28 years. So it's not very great. Like your investment isn't growing very fast, obviously. But if you had $1 to start, you would have $2 after 28 years. If you had $1 million to start, after 28 years, you'd have $2 million. So whatever you start with, you're going to double it at that interest rate. That's what that means. Okay? How much money was made during the first 2 years? Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go, when x is equal to 2, how much money do I have in the bank? So I'm going to go second trace 1. X is equal to 2, and it's 5,253.13. 5,253.13 is in your, that's how much you have in your account. So how much did you make? $253.13. So this is in the account, but because if you read the question carefully, it says how much did you make? That's 253.13. So we'll just do every question worth 1 mark as well. So this whole AC is worth 15.
put your name and last name on there.